Previously on Balls.
Coolio Gangsters Paradise, Balls Visual Radio for a Thursday, which means it is time for Blogz. And Sport Billy standing by for us this afternoon. Let's just see that he's all there and ready to go. Billy, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Darren. How are you?
Yeah, top of the world, thanks. Been reading with interest some of the tweets already coming through and some of your teasers as well.
There's some beauties out there.
There are some beauty and jogged a few memories as well. So,
do you remember old Werner Gey?
We were just saying to Sean now, I thought he was a triathlete.
He might have been many things.
Yeah. So, but there's a couple of others also jogged, one or two for me as well. Out of these suggestions, we won't blow those right now. We'll share them with you during the course of Blogz. Tank.
Hello, Minnie. How are you?
All right, and you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Just a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, completely agree about the Wenzel tweet this morning. That doesn't make sense.
Which one? Oh, my earth. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So, he selects one overseas player and it just opens the barn door and they all come streaming in.
Yeah, but I mean, as someone mentioned, Mostert. He's gone to Stade Francais. That was Sean. Gerhard Mostert. He was like the next big thing last year and suddenly he's forgotten.
Yeah, but absolutely. And he says Muller's injured, but the other one is Breslau, man. Bloody good season for the Sharks. I mean, what's he done wrong?
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I prefer to pick the home-based players. This Wenzel thing irritates me.
I wonder how many Sharks put themselves out of a box side in that final, though. That's the. Yeah. Craig's almost definitely. I'm sure he would have been part of the squad. Well, I don't know. Maybe he had Schalk Brits in his mind for a while. So.
Couldn't have a nightmare.
Gee, absolutely shame, man. All right, well, welcome, Tag. The other bit of housekeeping very quickly was, I believe you gave Kia the carte blanche yesterday.
It should have been called the Mark Kia show.
We chatted to us a little earlier on, and then we said, so what did you guys and Tank talk about? And he said, no, you gave him the full Derek Watts treatment.
I gave him a pedestal and he made full use of it. Huh?
Yeah, there we go. Good old Kia. All right, let's turn our attention to Blogz. After a fun week last week with the best Currie Cup 15 of all time, we now are talking about the worst Currie Cup 15 of all time. And no bounce today. He's got another function on, as does Salty Snolly. So Chris Mickelwood who's been talking to us about the East Coast 10s. Details are on our Twitter as well, by the way. You can just click the link and you can find out more. East Coast 10s happening next year in Durban. So Chris Mickelwood from Rovers is going to be also throwing in his thoughts on the worst Currie Cup 15 of all time. So
is Chris an ex-Michael House boy? That sounds like a very Michael Husian surname.
No, we won't be Michael House. Grandfather's Michael House, but I'm a Westville boy.
Westville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you captain Rovers this year?
Yes.
I did, yes. Tank, I saw you at Murray Cup final.
At the Murray Cup final. You didn't play that day, eh?
No, I had an injury for the final.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Tank. So should we go same format as last time, Edith? And that is start at the back and make our way through till we get to number one.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. All
right, the worst fullback of all time. Who's going to get the fray going here? Let's start with you, Tank.
I've got to be very, very honest. I'm struggling for names here, and the other thing I have to be honest about, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable about this. I must say, I took some stick on Twitter, and I tried to crowdsource a few names, and they just said, "Don't lower yourself to this level, Lanning. This deep and nasty crap journalism." So I started feeling guilty, and so start with someone else, please. I actually don't have a fullback.
All right, Billy.
Good. I'm happy to throw a few names out there. This is kind of what I do, Tim. But I could understand that. I went with at 15. They kind of all double as a 14, so I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna. There are three of them. There's Roger Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Roger the Dodger?
Yep. Natal's Roger Smith also played on the wing. Yeah?
Roger was the one who chased back for that kick and tried to slide and kicked it on and basically lost that. I think it was a Currie Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's all I remember.
Let's not go there.
Well, I think Chris has basically endorsed that one as well now. Yeah.
Yeah, so Roger Smith, and then I had his Robert Markram in there as well.
Robert Markram.
That's
Greg
hard.
was, eh?
Yeah, Greg was, and then
Yeah.
Province for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's one. Okay. Chris, do you got anyone else to add?
So I'm just looking over. You didn't have much preparation yet. So I'm just looking over into a list here, but I'll hold that one off for you.
Okay, Sean.
I think one name that's going to crop up, but it's going to be a fight whether he plays at fullback or fly half, is Earl Rose.
Where
I
is
think
Earl?
a worst 11 is
Now,
not.
can we please keep him for 10?
Oh, you want to keep him for
no,
10?
yeah.
In that case,
I got him at 10.
you got him at 10. Okay, well then let's keep him at 10. Other names I want to throw in is Casper Stain, who I think might have got his nickname because he always disappeared on the field. And I thought, for a real blast from the past, I wanted Liam Kirkham, that old Transvaal fullback at the time when.
Don't let John Robbie hear you say that, because he thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. So, sad, I think, didn't we lost Leon about last year sometime, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. All right.
And
So,
Casper,
sorry, Casper?
wasn't he in a bad accident? Or?
Yeah,
Yes, he was,
car
but
accident,
he's
yeah.
actually doing all right. I've bumped him at a couple
he?
of golf
Okay.
days up in the Pretoria
Oh, okay.
area this year. So he's he's getting back to his old self. So he's still around, very much so.
Okay, good.
Why is IPO going no? I'm just checking Twitter while we go along here. Okay, it's just about our Cape Town syndication. Don't worry about that. All right, so at fullback, should we settle on who our winner is? I'm going to add one more into the fray here. I would have added Theo van Rensburg as well. He just never really excited me. But he was a Springbok, I suppose, and he did have his moments. But the other one is a guy who used to kick a ball a mile, but really did nothing else. Was Hendrik Trutte. Remember him?
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And Transvaal.
He was about 6'5", wasn't he?
Yeah, it's
think
massive.
so.
Kicked the ball a mile, but it was hopeless. So who are we going to settle on as our balls bloggers team 15 at fullback? We've got Hendrik Trutte, Roger Smith, Casper Stain, Robert Markram.
I must say, on Twitter today, I've had about 17 responses for Roger Smith, and I don't remember him at all, but they all said worst wing ever. So I don't know if perhaps you're going to keep him for wing, and depending on what you've got out there.
Your selection policies are very much flexible. I mean, we can, if there are so many wings offering their names, we can put him at fullback.
Yeah, I think he'd be better suited to fullback in a game like this. Yeah.
we are worrying about the balance of the team and the worst 15.
Who are we playing, Billy?
Sheepers. We might have to ask. Maybe we should ask some of the New Zealand bloggers to put together a worst NPC outfit.
All right. Taser just tweeted as well. Didn't realise Robert Markram, who was at school and passed away in a car accident just after making the Western Province team.
Yes, that's right.
Is
That's
it?
right.
Okay,
It was
didn't
in
know
like
that.
98 or 99 he passed away.
All right, so we're going with Roger Smith. Any disagreement there? No.
I'm cool with Roger Smith.
Roger Smith, happy there, Billy?
Yeah, happy. I think Chris kind of brought up a deep memory there, which
Yeah.
sealed the deal. For
Past the
Roger.
Sharks at Currie Cup final, he's out, he's gone.
I think I could have been about 8 at the time, but I think it's still my memory as a Shark supporter.
Well, it was someone completely different. Yeah. All right, let's turn our attention to the wings then, so we can complete that little fray. Tank, have you got any names there, or are you only concentrating on forwards?
Well, I had Roger Smith, but he's been bumped to fullback, so
Okay.
I'm back in the dark again.
It's an upgrade for Roger Smith.
All right, so you got no other wings other than Roger Smith.
No.
All right, let's go to Billy.
Okay, I don't know if you guys remember a guy called Dale Hartman, ex-Pumas,
Yeah.
Ex-Border Bulldogs,
yeah, yeah.
ex-Pumas,
Big guy as well.
ex-Brickwas, ex-Cheetahs, pretty much everything.
All right, we're just going to say that they had to have played for one of the sort of the bigger sides, so we're sort of cutting off at Griquas, otherwise we may as well just put the Falker team from 2008 in and move on. Dale Heitman, okay, there's one. Who else?
I also had Dirkie Stradum.
Jeez, like, where are you finding these? Yeah, Dirkie Stradum. What's his history, by the way?
I have no idea who Dirkie Stradum is.
Dirkie was a Sharks winger for a while. Luckily, not for too long.
Okay, clearly, yeah. All right. Anyone else, Billy?
I've just got a message now. I won't tell you from who, but he's putting forward Christy Noble, but I'm going to veto that vote.
No, Christy. I think some of the Sharks players from. Hold on, have I got the right Noble? Christy played for the Sharks. Didn't he win a Currie Cup with him? Was he
Yeah,
part of the
he
Currie
was-
Cup side that won in 90?
Yeah, I think he was around in those days.
Yeah, I think he was.
I certainly wouldn't have him, but
Anyone in that team gets a free pass, surely.
All right.
yeah, maybe Dusty would get a vote. But
All right. The Ricker, by the way, added another one to the fullback fray, Johan Rutz.
He was good.
He was all right. He
Oh,
really
this
is.
is such a mean show.
Yeah. And Bronwyn is such a lovely
Yeah,
lady.
of course, yes.
Yeah, magnificent.
Just the fact that he overachieved and got Bronwyn now, he's not getting in our side. Take and I laughing as the members of the Overachievers Club. That could be another blog.
Take yourself, Padre.
Maybe that could be another Blogz topic. Sports greatest overachievers as far as wives go. Make a note of that one. All right. David Meyer says FC Smith for getting tackled by a Free State streak on the try line. Yeah, and others would say James Dalton as one of the worst wings ever. But okay, so we've got Dale Heitman, Dirkie Stratum. Anyone else to add this, Sean?
He played centre and wing, but he irritated me more when he played wing, so I put through Jorrie Muller.
Jorrie Muller, I saw that.
And I'm going to show my Western Province roots here. He was amazing at times, but I could not get over Sireli Naqelevuki week by week. He
Yep.
gave me far too much pain.
Okay. Chris, anyone else to add?
No, I was thinking, we talked about Naqelevuki before, and a typical Islander, one of those guys who pitches up when he wants to, and hot and cold, but quite often quite cold.
Yeah, I'm putting him in already because I think everyone would agree with him.
I read him up on Wikipedia. I read up on a couple of players, and it says there, I think in like 2008 or something, that he was selected for the province team, even though Tank Lanning criticized him for being unfit. So Tanky there in a Wikipedia entry for criticizing Sireli Naqelevuki.
Adrian Fudgy Erasmus says worst wing Cabos van der Westhuizen. You've got to be kidding me.
Is he in last week's team?
He was almost in last week's team.
Botha.
Dion Westhuizen Moritz says no, he was
He was a
brilliant.
class act.
Yeah, all right. The Rico agrees about Naqelevuki. I think he just misspelled it there, I think. And I put Sireli Naqelevuki in as one. I'm going to add two others to the fray. Might get crucified for this. But really, sometimes I looked at them, I thought the only reason why they were in the side is because they were related to Nas. There's Darius, Botha, and Hendrik Krier.
He shall go Darius Botha, absolutely.
Yeah. So those are my two. So out of those, we've got to go Jorrie Muller, Dale Heitman, Dirkie Stratum, Hendrik Krier, Darius Botha. Anyone else add anything? No, I think that's about it. And we had Christy Noble as well.
Please
But I
can
think
keep Jorrie for centre.
Jorrie Muller for centre.
I'm penciling him in.
He played 13 most of his life. Man.
What about old? I've also got Joe Gillingham and Gus Turan.
For wings.
I don't know. They were kind of
Gus was everywhere.
Yeah, no, Joe was more centre as well, eh?
yeah. They could
Yeah,
play
but
anywhere. Those guys.
Restaurant was definitely a wing.
All right, so you want to keep Jorrie Muller for centre as well?
Please.
Are you happy to go Darius Botha at 14, or do you want to go with one of the others?
I think Darius would add
I'm cool with Darius.
a bit of history to the team. Yeah.
Go in or stay out, Sean? Go in.
No, Darius Botha go in.
All right, Darius
Botha go
Botha
in.
is our...
Was it Botha and Naqelevuki?
Jeez, rugby.
Quintin, Naqelevuki and Roger Smith. Wow. That's your back three to keep you calm.
I'm just getting very nervous now because our rugby panel CD, now we put his brother into the Worst Currie Cup team of all time. I'm just waiting for that cancellation from Nas for the golf day. All right, let's go to the centres then. Start with you, Sean.
I know that you got a soft spot for Hugo van As.
I've got him in as mine, yeah. Hugo
I
van As.
think that we need to mention his centre partner, Dries Moritz.
Dries Moritz, yeah.
As a combination there, we're not so hot.
He did have a couple of good games, but considering he played 7,000 games, he was bound to have one or two good ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's the two I'm putting through, and that's my first straight up combination.
All right.
Put through.
Billy?
I went for quite an interesting combo. I had. Are we just talking 13 now, or are we going for both?
Just general, we go centres, then we'll get a combination.
Yeah, so I had Jorrie at 12, and then playing outside him, running the angles. I couldn't make up my mind between Mac Messina and
Just going for the panel.
and a guy I was actually at school with, old Sax Chua. They were fairly similar on the field.
Yeah. Did Sachs actually play for Transvaal? Did he get a couple of games?
The last time I saw him play, he was playing under 14Ds at my class. And then suddenly I saw him playing for Transvaal. I was amazed.
Yeah. All right, so Drytsman, Hugo van As, Mac Messina, Sax Cherwa. Tank?
I had Jorrie Muller and Mr. Wayne Julies. And then as a left field one, probably someone that not many folks remember, a guy called Julian Halkett, who's actually a very nice guy and a friend of mine. But he snuck in to the Western Province side. It must have been in the mid-90s for 1 or 2 games. He wasn't at his best.
Just be careful about sneaking guys in that play 1 or 2 games in for Province when we get to the forwards. Tank might bite you back. Be very careful. All right. Okay, I'm going to add one more there because I think he's absolutely hopeless. Dylan Des Fountain.
Yeah, he's shaky. Yeah. Jeez, how does he hang around for so long?
I have no idea.
Well, you're so cagey at the start to be nasty. Now you're just getting stuck in.
He did make an appearance on Top Billing. Barnes told me so.
Okay. Does it qualify to take you out like the Buffalo Club? If you've been on a cover, you don't have to drink with the left hand.
What about F.A. Meyering?
F.A. Meyering.
Oh, yeah.
F.A. Meyering was a 94 Springbok. Him and Yannick Claessens were together with the Bulls for a bit.
Yeah.
That was a light centre and a heavy centre.
On Twitter, there's Yannick Claessen mentioned by the Ricker, one-dimensionally says. Sean Combring says Wayne Julies. Glenham Griffiths says JP Nell, yellow card expert. So a couple of others that have been put forward there.
He's got like 4 Currie Cups, JP Nell.
All right, so who are we going to go with between Dylan Des Fountain, F.R. Meyering, Hugo van As, Dries Maritz, Mac Messina, Sax Cherwa, Jorrie Muller, and Wayne Julies?
Yeah, I just want to check before we go on there. Hugo van As, is he the UJ coach at the moment? Do you know?
He probably is, yeah.
All right, so play before my time. There we are.
Yeah, he was specialised in actually taking a pass on his forehead a lot of the time. So who are we going to go with there?
Mac and Jorrie would be my vote.
Mac and Jorrie says Tank, Sean?
I think now with Jorrie's no wing, I'm thinking Jorrie at 13.
All right, so let's put Jorrie in at 13. I think everyone's kind of sold on that one. Jorrie Muller, yeah. Sean, Billy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with, I would say Messina or your man Van As. Huh?
Yeah.
I love the idea of Van As and Jorrie Muller playing together. So you see like Van As trying to take it off his forehead and Jorrie Muller grabbing it from an offside position. It's going to be awesome.
And it's nice to have some presence from like going back in time as well. Otherwise, too much of a 90s, 2000 side. So there we go. We've got our wings, we've got our centres, we've got our full back. Our centres we've settled on Hugo van As and Jorrie Muller. And let's now move to the half-backs. At fly half.
Thought we weren't discussing that one, Dan. I thought we agreed earlier on our choice, or Earl Rose.
Is anyone going to dispute Earl Rose at fly half?
Only name I've got.
I've got a couple of other names, but I'm definitely I'm punting Earl for the win here.
Just quite a few others?
Just to show that there was a little bit of competition. Jacques Bernardet.
Jeez, yeah.
The Sharks fly half. Yeah. I'm not sure where they found him or where they sent him to, but he didn't last long. And what about Henry Coxwell?
Wasn't that bad.
Lance Sherrill?
Wasn't Henry Coxwell the first one to wear a motorbike helmet in rugby?
Lance Sherrill.
Lance Sherrill.
Are you mental?
He was great.
No ways. I had some few choice words for Cheryl, and I was only 9 years old at the time.
He played for more Currie Cup teams than any other player in the history of the game.
He was kicking leather off a ball, man. He was a legendary actor behind you.
Yeah, no, Cheryl doesn't get into that side. But thanks for your contribution, Johnny. You can go back to what you were doing. Harky Krier, there's a guy. Harky Krier, Glenham Griffiths, Harky Krier, that's a good suggestion.
Didn't he get suspended for failing a drug test as well?
Yeah, he was, yeah. And then he came back and played for the Sharks for a little while longer and then ended up at the Lions, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. All right, look, it's a top. I mean, do any of those, Harky Krier, Jacques Bernardi, kick out Earl Rose?
I don't think so, but while we're on Earl Rose, does anyone know where Earl Rose is this at the moment?
He's in a fish and chip shop. Earl Rose it is. And that is... Oh, by the way, guys, did you, let's speak of Earl Rose and his fish and chips exploits, did you see, we had Dave van Hesselen in the studio this week. Have you seen his video
Brilliant.
of his car when his bucky rolled back and he was trying to stop it. If you haven't, please go and check it out. It's I think it's Dave 1 Bucky 0 is the title of the video. Very funny.
Dave versus Hilux.
Dave versus Hilux, that's the one.
I love the way, typical scrum half, he tries to scrum the bucky while it's running. No fear.
Yeah. All right. Right. Let's move on to halfback then before we take a bit of a breather. Number 9. I saw one name that was tweeted, and immediately I thought that's definitely someone I'd agree with. I think it was you, Billy. You said, could possibly Hakkies Hasselman be in that side?
Yeah, no, he's definitely in contention. Hakkies Hasselman. I think he lurked around the Bulls bench a bit here and there.
Yeah.
Griquas too.
Yeah.
Griquas.
And then I found his name. I kind of Googled him to see, and I found him at centre for the Pumas at some stage, which was quite bizarre. But
Hakkies Hasselman.
Yeah, Hakkies.
All right.
I would also throw Joppie Adlam and Benny Nokia in there as well.
Yeah. There's a couple of ones.
Benny Nokia.
Benny Nokia. Jeez, lucky.
I think there was 3 scrum halves on the 94 Tour de Argentina. I think it was Joost who made his debut, Henty Martins, and Benny Nokia.
Yeah. Joppie Adlam's a good call as well.
Joppie Adlam gets a little free pass for me because I saw him in a game at Ellis Park where he was being treated for an injury in the 22, and there was an attack that happened where someone broke the line and he pushed all the medics out the way to try to make the tackle.
But I think the worst of all time had to be Gerrie Sonicus.
He was an 8th man, John.
No, he played scrum half.
He was an 8th man, John.
I promise you he played scrum half.
Yes, John, we know. He also played 8th man.
Okay.
It was a great tour.
Yes.
I want to be a little mean, but all these guys are. I want to bring up the name of Conrad Breitenbach, who was the Northern Transvaal scrum half behind Joost. He was like that big guy. Ended up playing a couple of games for Russia, oddly enough.
And he did. And he was the analyst for the World Cup now for Russia as well.
And he's kind of like Piri Weepu without the haka. It's Conrad Breitenbach.
That's what I love about these analysts that they brought in for the last World Cup. And there was like Conrad Breitenbach, and he knows not one of these Russian players, but because he played 2 games for Russia, he was on the panel.
He might have played in that run where Lithuania beat the record as well.
It was like in the early days of football there as well, when they used to started showing international football. Tank, I don't know if you remember. And Billy, they used to bring. They'd go around like Orange Grove and find a Portuguese guy who ran a shop there who like followed football, and suddenly he was an analyst. Jeez, it was amazing. Yeah. Gavin Parsons says Moritz van der Merwe.
Oh yeah, he was a wing fullback.
Yeah, no, I think it's just a late entry for the backs. All right, so our choices are. I'm going to throw one more as well and I just got to get the right one here. Because I think he did play a couple of test matches, but I think even Nas said this guy's got to be the worst scrum half, and they never saw him. Was it Charlie Ferreira, Tank?
Wasn't it Freddie Ferreira?
Or Freddie Ferreira?
It was Buttiban Ferreira, that's Freddie, but he played 100 games for Province.
Yeah, no, then it's the other. There was a guy, Charlie Ferreira, also a scrum half. That's how bad he was. You can't even remember him.
Is this like Cavaliers?
Cavaliers era, yeah.
The first is Stompie Fourie era.
Stompie Fourie. There's another one. Right in that era, Stompie Fourie. Where are you finding these names? Jeez, like Stompie Fourie. We have enough scrum halves to choose from. So anyway, I'm going to throw in Charlie Ferreira because I just remember that this guy was hopeless and you'd never heard from him. He was on my list, and then suddenly John said, "No, he's coming to visit us this week." Was Dave van Hesselen? So that was quite awkward. I had his name down already. Benny Norke, Joppie Adlam, Conrad Breitenbach, and Stompie Fourie are our scrum halves that we got here.
Well, I'm sure Stanley Raubenheimer would be gutted. That
I'm not sure he played Currie Cup though. I really thought about him, but I think he played a couple of. Did he?
Yeah,
I know he played Super Rugby.
He definitely would have.
Yeah. That's Stan Raubenheimer in there as well.
That's what I couldn't believe. Is the talent at Scrummy was amazing.
Who was that Bulls guy as well? They actually went on a Bok tour. It was quite known in the last 10 years.
Give me the tour, I'll get it.
No, man.
Deander Kwak.
No. He played. Who's the Bulls backup to Joost and then Fourie de Preer?
Sherbert.
Oh, Norman Jordan.
No, Norman Jordan, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a sneaky test match against England.
Yeah, Norman Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he come on in Corne's heyday?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, who are we going with, boys?
Jeez, this is a tough call.
Stompie Fourie captures my imagination right now.
I'm looking at two, and I see Stompie Fourie and Konrad Breitenbach shouting at
I
me.
did like Breitenbach, and he's got the
I
build to
like
his team.
Breitenbach. It's a vote.
Chris?
I've got to say that most of them I don't even know, which is means it's way past my sort of time. Don't know if there are any more current nines that we want to throw into the
Not
mix
yet.
there.
Not yet. Nah.
They might be on standby for the Springboks.
All right, Billy, what do you reckon? It seems pretty much one between Konrad Breitenbach and Stompie Fourie.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Joost playing on the wing because old Konrad Breitenbach made the Bulls team once. I don't know if that does anything for him or...
Yeah.
But, out of those two, I'd probably go Stompie.
Okay, let's go Storm, because Konrad also, I think he had to play with Nas for a while, so it's intimidating for anyone to come into a side and have to throw a ball to Nas when you know he's just going to kick it away.
And between Stompie and Earl Rose, I think there could be some serious magic there.
All right, so there we go. We've got our backline. Roger Smith, fullback Darius, Botha, and Sireli Naqelevuki. Imagine Silas and Kanunu announcing this Springbok side. Roger Smith, Darius, Botha, and Sireli Naqelevuki. Jorrie, Muller, and Hugo van As, and then Earl Rose and Stompie Fourie as your halfbacks. What a team. We'll have a look at the forwards in just a short while. Johnny's going to have a quick look at your headlines. You boys, Tank and Billy, can just take a bit of a breather. We'll give Sean a chance to refresh his beer, and Chris as well. And then we'll get to the forwards. Tank's chomping at the bit. Blogz continues. Tank and his excitement hung up instead of putting the mute button on. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. And Billy's still there on Skype. Sean's replenished his castle, as has Chris. So now we go to the forwards. All right, so this is Tank territory. So do you want to get us underway with your number 8?
Okay, it's going to cause a lot of consternation, especially amongst you Sharks freak. But AJ Fynn, I know he did a lot of good in his early days.
What?
But he was a passenger when he came down to Cape Town to be a chaba with Rusty Erasmus, and he came here for his pension. He did me for life, I'm afraid. He probably won't get too many other votes. Then the other one that I've got in my list is a guy called Tim Dlulani. I don't know how the hell he got
That's the guy I was trying to think of the other day. Tim Dlulani, yeah.
In fairness, Tank, AJ Fynn, when he came down to Province, played mainly at lock, I think, as well. They tried to retread him as a lock.
Well,
but he was awful.
Anyway, because he had to warrant his fat paycheck.
But he was awful, but I say we consider him at lock. I think his 8th man, that's pretty harsh to put him in for 8th man.
Well, he's there. You won't get many votes, but he's there.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike in China, who's just tweeted and put a link through to the Earl Rose video again, saying it's his most popular video ever. He's at 27,000 hits alone just on his posting. I think it's the fish shop one, so if you haven't seen it yet, go and have a look. All right, so you're sticking with AJ Fenter?
Yes, I am, and Tim Dlulani.
Wow. Tim Dlulani, okay. What do you got there, Billy? Anyone to add?
Yeah, I've got 3 candidates here. My favorite is probably... Now, I'll leave my favorite for last, but I would say Elandre van der Berg, who also was a lock and a number 7, but played the odd game at 8 for EP. Audrey Badenhorst.
He's like...
And but my favorite is Janneman Brandt.
Janneman Brandt. Who did he play for?
He played some balls, and I think he might have taken down.
Greg was in the Stormers, yeah.
Greg was in the Stormers.
In 2000.
I played SS schools with him in '89. He's a good guy.
Yeah, but it's not about your mates. See, Tank's trying to soften the blow for the front row coming out. No. All right. Anyone else to add, Chris?
I got a message for a Stein Swart.
Stein Swart. Also a Shark, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. He wasn't a bad player. They played it like, I think him and Fleiss were the 2 big guys in the Sharks team. All right, we add Stein Swart to the list there. The only other one I would add, he was in that horrible era of Transvaal rugby.
JM.
Who?
JM, is that
Who's
the one?
JM?
Is that what his initial is? Because I was thinking about him.
Can't you think of his name?
Yes, I do know it is.
Well,
Dan,
then say it, John. We're not going to interview him.
No, it's for you. It's for you.
I don't know who you're talking about.
John Mitchell.
No, John. He wasn't an 8th man.
Oh, he wasn't an 8th man.
But thanks for blowing my secret weapon.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about Millie van Sail.
Millie van Sail.
None of you remember Millie van Sail. He was this bright, he had orange hair, and he played in the Corrie Papers era. He was terrible.
Corrie Papers.
Yeah.
I have never heard of him.
I'll be really impressed if any of you guys remember him. I tried not to keep it too remote, but there's one guy I just had to put on the record for posterity. At Province in '98, we had a whole bunch of loose forwards that went to international duty, and the coach, Alan Solomons, went. And we had Bob Templeton, who was an old Australian. He brought in 2 loose forwards. One was Dwayne Monkley, who was a legend, and the other guy was a dude called Mutu Negarimu, who was a total chop. Absolute A-grade, lazy chop. I have to put him down.
Where did he come from?
From memories.
Two New Zealanders, I remember them well. Monkey didn't start that well there, I must say.
He didn't.
To practice, but that other guy, I think he played like half a game.
Yeah, he played the full game against Griquas, and I didn't see him hit a ruck. I was literally, and he scored 2 tries. He was 8th man. He scored 2 tries in a pushover effort against Northwest and Potchefstroom. Probably thought he made it then. No, he was awful. He was awful.
AJ's now joined Twitter. Mickelwood's gone and given him the heads up, saying you need to defend yourself on Balls Radio. Tank, we'll leave that one up to you, okay?
No, man, that's offside, you freak.
Have a look out for our Durban boys.
Okay, you can explain it too, Chris. Just remember it.
I guess I won't be commentating on the America Cup final next year.
Oh, there we are. All right, so who we going at number 8? I'm kind of...
Tank's holding his tongue out. Doesn't want to say AJ.
Well, cool. I mean, look, none of us are going to agree with AJ anyway, so it's not going to be that one. Look, I'm stuck on Millie van Zyl because I think ever since he played, I think that was the start of my my desertion from Transvaal rugby back in those days.
Elandre van der Berg's a good one for a few penalties.
Yeah. Billy, you and Sean are going to have to flog this one out. Tim Dulani, Janneman Brunt.
Elandre, or
Tim
yeah,
Dulani.
Janneman actually wasn't that bad, but yeah, if Sean is going for Elandre, I'm happy to back that one.
Elandre van der Berg goes in at number 8. Our loose forwards.
He did rack a guy on the head, so
Yeah.
He was a technical guy.
All right. Your surname was van der Berg. What do you expect? Okay, 6 and 7.
Please give my Tim Dulani a little vote, man.
Yeah, I think I'd go. I'd definitely have him in that side somewhere because came with lots of fanfare and did nothing. So I also agree with Tim Dulani at one of the flank positions. Billy, who else have you got there?
Yeah, I see your Tim Dulani and raise your Thando Manana.
There's another one, Thando Manana.
I think Thando Manana started being the SABC rugby broadcaster from the age of 24.
All right.
Like Mac Messina.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chris, anyone to add there?
No, we're good there. I'm gonna take a back seat after AJ's comment.
Yeah, no, Chris,
Sorry, Tank.
Chris is basically just sitting back tweeting everyone from the Sharks. Ooh, Taste Brits comes up with Draadkaart de Lange. But he was a lock.
He was definitely a lock.
Yeah, listen, I think let's just keep him because we have, while we were playing the song there, Tank and Billy, we did discuss maybe sometime in the next few weeks carrying on with this theme and picking our best nickname or best named 15 of all time. So maybe Draadkaart will be there. So are we happy to go with Tim Dulani and Thando Manana, or are we adding anyone else in?
What about Harold Karele?
Oh, Harold's got to be in there.
On the looks front as well, definitely.
Yes, the ugly 15 as well. Okay, Harold Currie, wasn't he an 8th man more than a flank?
No, he played 6 flank. He played 6 flank a lot for Province.
All right,
for the Stormers, Western Stormers.
Harold Karele and Tim Dulani?
There's a guy, I think we need a ginger in this team. And he played hooker as well as flank, which makes you know that he's all over the show. Yanni Brooks. You played for the Bulls for a while.
Wasn't it worse than Tim Dulani?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. Moritz has thrown another one into the fray. Luke Watson.
Yes, what about my buddy Kia, man? He's going to knock you out. He's going to send in the hitman.
Apparently he admitted that they are mates on your show yesterday.
Properly. I mean, Scott scraping looked like there's no tomorrow.
All right, you see, we would have had a redhead if you had gone with Millie van Zyl. Okay, so who's joining Harold?
I think Thando.
Thando Manana?
Yeah, let's do Thando Manana.
Yeah.
Okay, Thando Manana goes in there.
Window dressing at its very best, both those
Yes.
guys. We got to feel for them,
The
man.
minister will be very happy with this team until he sees what it's called, the title. Locks. Who are we going with at locks?
See, so I've got some. There's some quality coming out of Province in the form of Quintin Davids and Johnny Trytsman.
My TV as well.
Johnny Trytsman has to be in there. We'll keep Quintin for a while, but Johnny Trytsman, you're happy to put him in immediately, Sean?
I like Johnny Trytsman.
No,
I thought he was handy. He was a good
Terrible.
line-out jumper, Johnny Trytsman. I mean, I see you on Quintin Davids. Quintin Davids is probably a must for my team, actually. Marco Wenzel was in my team until he was called up.
He's like, yeah.
I found the tight five really hard to do, actually, because most of the guys, you have to be really anonymous to be really bad at Currie Cup level, if you know what I mean. Reino Opperman came up in my head, old Free State.
Good call.
That's a great
Especially post-beard, remember, he had a little beard phase as well.
What about your mate, the Koksteenkamp's friend, that the journeyman, Wilhelm? He's the greatest bencher in the world, but he never gets to play for any team, and then suddenly cheaters make him captain one week, and then they bench him the next week.
No, for sure, yeah, he deserves a shot. And I've had a vote for Kefi van der Merwe.
Kefi van der Merwe, jeez, there's the name. All right. Sorry, Tank, you were saying?
So there's another Steenkamp, a guy called Whiskey Steenkamp, who didn't get too many games. I got a few games for Province in the, I don't know, mid-90s, somewhere around there, when Province were going through their worst patch.
Yeah. No one knows him. No one's heard of him. Came and went very quickly. We're getting close to the forwards, Tank.
Okay.
Moritz van der Merwe says Davon Robenheimer. And for Lock, Sean Combring says Hilton Lobbits.
Yeah, not a bad shot.
So we've got a choice. Kefi van der Merwe, Hilton Lobbits, Reino Opperman, Quintin Davids, Johnny Trytsman. Yeah, that's what we're choosing from. Anyone to add there, Chris?
What about forgetting my name now? Quintin Davids' friend from the Springbok team in
Gio Cronje.
Yeah.
Well, look, he was was a damn good player. So if
but putting him in the same team, then combinations.
That's what I'm thinking.
No. The minister wouldn't be happy if he had the two sides playing together again. So we're going to go Johnny Trytsman and who? Kefi van der Merwe?
It's got to be Quintin Davids.
Or Quintin Davids?
I think got to be Quintin.
Yep.
Man.
Okay, Quintin Davids it is. So there's our lock sorted out. Right, front row. Do we just put Landing in now, everybody, or do we...
Yeah.
Put him in. Pin him in. Who the hell is he?
Billy, what have you got?
Yeah, for me, there was only one candidate at tight head, and that was Etienne Fynn.
Yeah.
She took the words right out of my mouth there.
Yeah, Chris has got Etienne as well. Isn't he a selector, or doesn't he influence whether you get to play for the Sharks still or not?
No, he does the scrumming coaching, so
All right,
I'm alright there. Stay far away.
Okay, Tank, you can get your back on him for his AJ Fenter one. Just tweet Etienne Fynn that Chris Mickelwood reckons that he's the worst prop ever. Yeah. Who else, Billy?
I think old Donnie Simon. Remember, he was one of Kevin Putt when he took charge of the Sharks. Recruited all those guys from the Pumas. I think only Jacques Burtis ended up being a decent acquisition, but there was Bram Immelman and all these guys, and the prop was a guy called Donnie Simon, who journeyman of night.
All right, Donnie Simon. Sean?
For tight head, I think just for general infamy and to get the penalty count up, I think I want to go with Johan Leroux.
Johan Leroux? He was a damn good scrummer, though. Jeez, he was a good player.
A legendary Springbok, man.
A legendary Springbok. And I read that book he wrote about the biting incident, and that made him... Just on any list of worst players, I want Johan Leroux there. That's a personal choice.
All right. Anybody else? Any additions there? At the moment, we've got Etienne Fynn, Johan Leroux, but not too much else. Donnie Simon.
I've got three names.
Yeah, Tank?
A guy that I scrimmed against, and he was particularly awful, really horrible. Gerhard Harding, and he played about...
Gerhard Harding?
Oh, come on.
Sharks.
You know how far I pushed him back? It must have been 10, 15 meters every scrum. He was nothing.
He's desperately trying to keep himself out of the side by throwing someone else that he was better than. Gerhard Harding, yeah, who else?
And then there was Eddie Andrews, didn't do himself too much justice, and then...
Moritz said that as well.
Is Ross Geldenhuys, who's also not covering himself in glory.
That's a good call.
Ross Geldenhuys.
What about Kapstok van Grenen?
Great call there, Billy. Kapstok van Grenen. See, a lot of these could feature in our best names of all time. But
Yeah, we have to hold it, the likes of him and
Draadkar.
Draadkar back.
Yeah. All right.
It's very competitive at lock next week.
Are we putting Etienne in? I think is everyone in agreement Etienne goes in?
Yeah.
All right, Etienne Fynn. And we just need a... What are you looking for? Loose head. Gerhard Harding?
I battled at Lucid. I had Vessel Rue, but I mean,
I mean, he was a Springbok. I mean, he was a poor Springbok, but he was a Springbok.
In context, though. Yeah.
There's quite a few Springboks in this team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Johnny Trytsman also turned, Doug.
Etienne Fynn did too.
Shit, did he?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he did.
Trytsman was in the Mallet's team. Yeah.
Turd.
Jorrie Muller played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So who are we going with?
For Lucid.
Yeah.
I picked a name from the past. A guy that Hempy Statoy took to the cleaners in the Currie Cup final. Reg Marchant.
You played for the Bulls, didn't you?
Yep.
How good was your assistant coach? Proudfoot.
My assistant coach.
No, Province.
Oh, no, man, yeah. He was right. He actually edged me in the SA under 23 side, the swine, because he was playing for Western Transvaal, and the Western Transvaal coached the side, and he edged me.
Yeah.
I was proud for picking out the SA under 23 side.
Okay.
I think he was okay as a scrummager. He played for Scotland, you know.
Do we put Gerhard? Was Gerhard Harding a tight head or loose head?
He was a loose head.
Should we put him in? Should we put him in just because Tank actually pushed him back?
Yeah, that's definite.
Just say if anyone argues that Tank should be in there, we just go no, but Tank pushed this guy back, so he has to be there because he was worse than Tank. All right. And Hooker, I would just like to have a unanimous vote because I don't know what this oak was doing around there and that is John Mitchell, Transvaal's John Mitchell. Whose best performance I ever witnessed was in a edit suite at Supersport when he was teaching Gary Bailey about the scrum. And they were actually scrumming each other in an edit suite. When Gary Bailey was doing rugby games in those days. Other than that, I cannot remember a thing what he contributed to the game. Anybody else wants to offer a hooker option?
Yeah, I had two. I had a province guy. I don't know. I can't remember him playing that much, but a guy, David Brits. He was quite a taco.
He had shaved back and sides. Also played for Free State or one of those other provinces. Yeah, he was average.
Yeah,
I think he got bust for.
He got done for steroids. Actually.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
David
then
Brits.
another guy, Cats hooker, Basil de Koning.
He could kick though. Basil de Koning kicked for poles for Griquas a lot.
Didn't he become a caddy? Didn't Basil become a caddy on the tour? I think he did actually. Basil de Koning, as far as I know. I think he's now caddying. I think he still caddies on the tour. In fact, I think he was fired by David Frost for actually oversleeping one night because he potted a bit too much the day before.
Yep.
Arrived late on the box and got fired.
He has a brother, Michael de Koning, who's in Port Elizabeth.
Is he a caddy now, Basil?
No, I don't know. I can find it from Michael.
I'm sure
maybe.
he is. I think he is actually. Basil de Koning, there's another one. Anybody else?
I got a message, Rod Botha.
Rod Botha.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Someone sent me a message.
Or
saying
Rod
that.
Blue.
Rod
Yeah, I remember Rod Blue.
Yeah, he wasn't bad though. Anyone else to add, Sean?
Maybe Dale Santon's worth a mention.
Dale Santon.
I must say, he was on my list. I was going to perhaps not mention him because, but he blew hot and cold. When he was fit, he was alright. But when he was fat, he was bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember watching that guy against the All Blacks when they toured here. When was it? 94. And he walked up and pushed the guys while they were doing the haka when they played against Boland. He was just a maverick of that.
He was a naughty bugger.
Mike Jansen in China says Dale, and it wasn't because you said it, but he just suggested Dale Santon as well. So we've got a couple of Dale Santons. Do we go with Dale as our hooker?
I think you might
I
have to
think
put
for
in
our own
brackets there.
safety, it wouldn't be a good call.
Put in brackets Zucras?
Put in brackets Dale Santon when he wasn't fit. Give him an option there.
No conditions. There's no comments thing here. Bock and Roll says, shit, Jorrie makes it into all worst sides. Surely the worst SA rugby player of all time. Talking about Jorrie Muller. He's like, he might be our captain then. All right, we're going to go Dale Santon then, right?
Okay.
Dale Santon.
Or John Mitchell. I mean, he sounded...
No, he was terrible, but I don't think anyone else knows him, so it's got to be on consensus. John Mitchell sat on the bench most of the time, so we'll just bench him in this side. We'll go Dale
What about
Santon.
Skipper Badenhorst?
Or Delaray Dupree. Jeez, he was crap. He was crap.
You don't want to meet either of those two at Dark Alleys, eh?
No, you don't want to meet any of these guys in dark alleys.
Chippy Van den Heever is another one from the era.
Next week.
That's a good call.
Next week. Chippy Van den Heever. All right, so our team is... this is what we've come up with as the worst Currie Cup side of all time. Fullback Roger Smith, wings Darius Botha and Sireli Naqelevuki. Centers, Hugo van As and Jorrie Muller. At 9, Stompie Fourie. At 10, Earl Rose. Then your loose forwards, Thando, Manana, Harold Karele and Elandre van der Berg. Locks, Johnny Trytsman and Quintin Davids. And then your front row, Gerhard Harding, Etienne Fynn and Dale Santon. Imagine that as a Springbok team announcement one day, and the shock and reaction afterwards. Yeah. How many of these were Springboks, by the way? Darius is 1. Hugo van As never. Earl Rose is 2.
I think Roger Smith went on tour as well.
Did he play? Actually play?
I think it was a dirt tracker, but he did go on tour.
Harold Karele, Thando, Manana. Did Thando Manana go? I think
he went on tour, but no test.
I don't think he got capped. But
Yeah.
Quintin Davids was.
Yep.
Etienne Fynn was. Dale Santon was. So there's about five Springboks in that worst Currie Cup side of all time. There we go, boys. We'll put that up on Twitter, our forwards as well, so you've got both, and you can have a look at it. Thanks a lot for all your comments as well. While we were putting the team up there, Barry says Ricky January in at Loosehead. Nah.
Darren, what about a coach for this team? Or we letting them go out?
Goes without saying, Harry Fynn.
Yeah, for sure.
Harry Fynn coaching the side.
What about Charlie?
Or Rudolph Australia.
Forwards and backs coach.
There we go. Those are the two. And Andre Roos says worst tight head Brock Harris. We forgot about mentioning him from a current side.
And a captain out this team? Do we want to pick a captain quickly?
Oh,
Jorrie.
Muller, captain of the side, worst player of all time. That's
Hands on backwards.
decided.
Let's see if he comes to collect that award.
All right, guys, that's Blogz for now. Are we? Some of the ideas we had for next week, as far as a topic goes, we're thinking either the best sports chirp of all time, or the best named 15. In other words, nicknames.
Let's go for nicknames.
You want to go best nickname team of all time?
Yeah, I reckon while we're on this roll, let's just
Let's keep
kill
it going.
them all off. Huh?
All right, cool. So the best nickname team of all time, or name team, as the players were known, that is the Blogz for next Thursday. We look forward to chatting to you. Thanks a lot, Billy.
Cool, thanks guys. Yeah, that was good fun.
Good fun
I couldn't
again.
meet any of these guys soon.
Yeah, we'll chat. Look forward to seeing your tweets as you start to surmise and think about and pontificate what names you're going to put in your side. And Tank, good luck with AJ if you bump into him. I think he's in Durban now, so you're safe.
Thank God. Yeah, thanks very much.
Chat to you next week, buddy. Cheers, man. And Sean, thanks for coming in, drinking our beer, and adding value as always.
That was a blast.
Yeah, it was good fun. And Chris, thanks for filling the hot seat while Bounce dropped us at the last minute.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
And East Coast 10s, look out the details. We put them up on our Twitter site already, and we'll have that stuff up on our website and Facebook page and everything in the near future, very near future. You'll be able to get all the details, register, and enter your team. Mike, thanks for telling us Dale Santon has 4 caps for the Springboks, so just to clarify that.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on balls.co.za. Balls.co.za.